ceding most of their land in the Northwest Territory to the U.S. cede, to build, or formally surrender. The Naturality Proclamation. In 1789, when the French Revolution began, Americans were supportive of a revolution that seemed similar in spirit to their own, but the French Revolution turned bloody and violent, a period that came to be broken as a reign of terror. A war broke out between the French and other European nations. Jefferson felt that the U.S. shouldn't abandon its ally France. Its people were fighting for liberty. Hamilton saw it was more important for the U.S. to protect relations with Britain, its biggest trading partner. On April 22, 1793, Washington issued the Neutrality Proclamation. Americans wouldn't fight or help either side. Foreign warships couldn't use American port. Madison argued that only Congress had authority over foreign affairs. Jefferson resigned as Secretary of State. Impressment and Jay's Treaty. The British kidnapped American ships that traded in the French West Indies and forced American sailors to fight for Britain. This practice, called impressment, recruiting draft, impressment of seamen, pushed the U.S. closer to another war with England. Washington sent Chief Justice John Jay to England to discuss the seized U.S. ships. In 1795, Jay was able to get the British to agree to pay for the losses. Jay's treaty prevented another war with Britain and also improved trade between the countries. It withdrew British troops from Western outposts in the U.S. Established a commission to settle border disputes. Washington's farewell. Concerned that he had too much power for one man and overdue delay for retirement, George Washington announced in 1796 that he wouldn't be running for a third term. He could have run. There wasn't any precedent yet about how many terms President got. In his farewell address, Washington warned against forming political parties, faction group, or permanent alliances with foreign nations. Faction, a group that shares a common goal or belief. Political parties formed. The disagreement with Jefferson and Madison in one side and Hamilton on the other grew into the first full-fledged, able to fly, fully developed parties in American politics. The Democratic Republican Party, Jefferson and Madison supported the idea of republicanism, including a strict construction view of the Constitution, reliance on agriculture, the ideal of a nation of a small farmers, sympathy for the French. The Democratic Republican Party was favored in South and on the Western frontier. The Democratic Republican Party was also just called the Republican Party. It's not related to today's Republican. It's not not relate to today's Republican Party. It's actually evolved into today's Democratic Party. The Federalist Party, Hamilton, was named after those who had supported the Constitution from the beginning. This party supported strong central representative government, loose construction view of the Constitution, reliance on trade, especially with England, the importance of urban merchant. Most Federalists did business and live in an urban area in New England. The election of 1796, the Democratic Republicans chose Thomas Jefferson to run for president and Aaron Burr to run for vice president at the caucus. Caucus, a meeting of party leaders to select candidate. The Federalists chose John Adams and Charles Pinckney. Adams received the most electoral vote and became a president. Jefferson and became president. Jefferson, the runner-up, second place, runner-up, became vice president. Adams, 71. Jefferson, 68. Close election. Jefferson and Adams were former friends who became bitter rivals. The XYZ affair. France began attacking American ships, and England had in 1797, President Adams and Charles Pinckney, Albridge Gerry, and John Marshall to Paris to negotiate. The French Foreign Minister Talleyrand refused to meet. Instead, Talleyrand sent 3 agents to discuss a theory for a huge bribe. Adams was furious, referring to the agent as Agent X, Agent Y, and Agent Z. He urged Congress to prepare for war. This insult outraged Americans and led to the slogan, "Millions of defense, but not 1 cent for tribute." Congress expanded the Navy, but Adams didn't really want war. Congress considered it to be the father of the American Navy. The Alien and Sedition Act. Sedition, rebellion against the government. American citizens were now very cautious of new European immigrants who might side with the French. Congress passed the Alien and the Sedition Act in 1798. These controversial laws allowed the president to deport, expel, exile, or imprison immigrants in wartime. They also made sedition. Were opposing the government illegal, taking away basic civil liberty such as freedom of speech and freedom of the press. The Kentucky and Virginia resolution. Democratic Republicans saw the Alien and the Sedition Act were abuse of power. Jefferson wrote a revolution declaration for the Kentucky legislature in 1798. The Madison wrote one for Virginia in 1799, although the authorship, the identity of writing piece, authorship was kept secret. The Kentucky and Virginia resolution argued that the act were unconstitutional because they interfered with constitutional right granted to state. The Kentucky resolution insists that states could nullify laws they found unconstitutional, nullify to cancel and make a void. The resolution didn't change the law. Congress just let the act expire after Adams left office, but they show that states could challenge the federal government. The Convention of 1800. In 1800, Adams sent another set of delegates to Paris. In the Convention of 18,000, France agreed to stop naval attacks. Adams was pleased, but many Federalists from his own party had wanted a war. And major since the Alien and Sedition Act, the Democratic Republicans saw Adams as an enemy to their cause. When election season rolled around, Adams was in a bad position for re-election. Farewell, and don't forget my warning.